Tatooine, mighty sky turtle, whose 1,000-mile bulk swims through the star-speckled pitch of interstellar space. Upon its shell, pitted with meteors and dusted with firmament, yea, upon great Tatooine's back balance the 4 great elephants, and yea, upon their massive shoulders doth rest the Discworld. Behold the Discworld, continents choked with forests, girdled with mountains, dotted with cities, pimpled with pubs, community theaters, and tax agencies, all ringed with a deep blue ocean that spills over the edge of the disk and into space. Behold the mountain Cori Celesti, where it is said the gods themselves doth hang out. Behold the twin city of Ankh-Morpork, Megatropolis, whose crazed, jumbled-up neighborhoods would send even the most hardened city planner into hysterics. Within the city's bulk, the unseen university, the greatest concentration of wizards and wizardly knowledge e'er assembled.
What's up, guys? Can you introduce yourselves?
We're a barbershop quartet.
Apparently. Let's just quickly go around the table and say briefly, like, what are who we're playing.
Yeah, let's start with our guests. We have 2 for this side quest.
Ooh. Hello. I shall be playing Genovia Gingersnap.
And who are you?
I'm the first female wizard among men.
And who are you?
Played by.
I'm Delaney. Hi.
Hi, Delaney.
Your face staring at her was great, though.
Delaney is my name. Hi, guys. But yes, I am playing the wizard, the first female wizard. If you don't mind, I'll get back to my introduction.
Please.
From the top, I am Genovia Gingersnap, first female wizard among men, keeper of Boozle the Beetle, known in the East as Cornelia Babblebrook, referred to in the West as Minerva Franglepuff. Selected circles in the North may refer to me as Britannica Mimosa Brunch. And because the disc itself is vast and inconstant, there may be other names not yet known to you or even me.
That's, what was the mimosa name? What was that?
I like the mimosa one.
Selective circles in the North know me as Britannica Mimosa Brunch.
That's the best thing.
That's the best. That's my favorite one.
All right, I'm the second guest. I'm Joel, and I'm playing a dwarven fighter named Edward Valender, who is the heir of the Valender fortune. His family is all dead, and he wanted to prove them how good he was with money and fighting, and open up the Dwarven Fighting Championship. Through a couple of bad deals, and honestly, he's kind of blacklisted. He is now down to the last 22 gold of his family's fortune, and refuses to acknowledge or change his lifestyle from that of the estate that I still have, because I still have. Right. You know, their house.
Yeah. Probably an old butler.
Yeah, because he is too out of it to realize I have not paid him in months. Everyone else in the staff did quit and is probably mad at me for not paying them any money.
And I know you may be wondering, is that Joel from Critical Bits? And I'm here to tell you, listener, that yes, it is.
It is! We're so excited that Joel's here from Atlanta for the weekend and decided to come hang out with us. I'm also playing... It's me, Jonah. Hi, guys. I'll be playing Crusty. I'm a troll and also a bard.
We love that voice.
Yeah. Oh yes. It's gonna keep on happening.
I'm ready
this whole time.
You're doing a great job.
Thank you. That was my god, everyone. Dwayne. I carry around a rock that is shaped like Dwayne's face with me at all times. It is the rock that Dwayne hit me upon my crusty head with and sent me tumbling down a mountain where I squished a bard at the bottom, and when I woke up I picked up his Dobro and started walking hubward.
But that's Crusty.
Hello, I'm Joe. You may know me from such characters as Frank. I'm playing Charles Deadwick. I guess he's got a southern accent. He lives in the woods, and he does all sorts of things that he finds in there. I wouldn't say psychedelics, but I guess it's the closest we're going to get.
I mean,
This is
maybe.
off the cuff right now. He sounds like this, and he goes around in the woods, and he kills animals for pelts. He finds all sorts of like very unique, strange, all sorts of instrument creatures. Not instrument creatures. I got me think about instruments.
Yeah.
But he finds creatures with nice pelts, and he is very good at his job. And he goes to town, he sells these pelts, and he makes a lot of money. Charles Deadwick, his body type is wild. His eye type is wild. His hair type is wild. He's wearing camo right now, and he's a bundle of joy.
Oh my gosh!
I forgot about those character tags for the look.
Yeah, let me give you a little. Let me give a little lead in real quick.
Oh, please.
So we're playing Dungeon World, guys. It's not D&D. It's a powered by the apocalypse sort of D&D adjacent thing. And you may have guessed from that insane intro that it is set in the Discworld universe. That is the series of books by Terry Pratchett. Maybe when we introduce our characters, like in the middle of the action, we can talk about what we look like in like a little freeze frame. Other than wild Charles.
A sort of record scratch. You may be wondering how I got here, sort of thing.
Edward? No, sorry. It's fucked up already.
All right, I'm done. I'll see you guys.
Genovia, Charles, and Crusty have just gotten off the long road to Ankh-Morpork, the biggest city on the disc, and they've come in through the Hubward's Gate. Genovia split off to go to the Unseen University to do a little bit of recon. She needed to get something from the university, some sort of information or perhaps a book, we're not quite sure. Leaving the two gentlemen to go to the Mended Drum, based on what piece of paper, Crusty?
My ad?
Yeah, the ad.
It's,
And I unfurl it, and what does it say again? Because I didn't write that in my inventory earlier.
It says, Behold, the first modern ye olde variety show at the Mended Drum. Come one, come all, show thine skill and make thine coin. And the actual brochure itself is very, I would assume being around Crusty for a long travel has been a little bit hard on the piece of paper.
Quite crumpled, I would say.
So, you guys find your way to the bar itself, and the ensuing scene is what Edward Valender walks in on, having walked down Filigree Street after yet another failed business meeting, trying to get his Dwarven Fighting Championship off the ground. When we come to see what you guys are doing in the Mended Drum, it is at the tenterhooks of a fight. There are people yelling, there are people throwing tomatoes at the stage, there's a very skinny-looking man in armor who appears to be reading poetry or something similar, 3 brutish bouncer types trying to get him off, and a very scared fool in the fool regalia of the Fool's Guild. And everything is about to pop off. They're trying to drag down the man in the armor. They're trying to bring him down to the general booze of the populace. And one of them, who's a big troll, kind of similar looking to Crusty, says,
You all know by the order of the Fool's Guild, ain't nobody what can perform unless they're an accredited member.
And his more shifty-eyed looking friend begins to try to bring down the man in the armor again. What do you do?
Well, I don't see me. Okay, I'm from out of town.
He said he's from out of town.
So, I just want to play what my instrument.
He says he wants to play his
And
instrument.
I start doing a little bit of my slide guitar deal.
But see, it's good.
So you've walked into the back of the room, and everybody is completely facing away from you, looking at the stage. And who are you saying this to?
To the guy who's telling me that I can't, but I'm like, but look.
Everybody turns around and sees. What do you look like?
As they look at me, they see, let's see, my tags here, body. Fit. I'm made of literal rocks. Volcanic rock with a nice sort of smooth surface, with joyous eyes. Just how Dwayne taught me to be. Hair. I circled stylish cap. I think that I took it off of the body of that same bard that I did squish as I rolled down the mountain. And clothes is just like a bunch of strips of leather and stuff that I've sort of cobbled together. But I'm just a large, big rock man with this like dobro, and I'm like,
but check it out. I got my sweet vibes.
And Charles, are you accompanied?
Yeah, Charles, I forgot to mention this earlier. Slipped my mind. Charles has an animal companion. It's a fucking bear.
Just wandering through the city.
His companion is a fucking bear. Is a grizzly bear. His name is Beef. And let me give you an idea of what he looks like. His strengths are fast, ferocious, and intimidating. His weaknesses are the fact that he is frightful and forgetful. And he's also trained to fight humanoids as well as monsters to help serve me in the line of finding those nice, sweet, beautiful pelts. So he's a bear. That's it. He's a grizzly bear.
A very forgetful grizzly bear.
So,
Sometimes he forgets, who did not attack.
Okay, I was like, how does that affect a bear's life?
Sometimes, when we're out in the field, he definitely, rips to
was I
shreds
supposed
the thing
to
I
eat
want.
this person?
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't remember.
He's a little bit.
So-
It's like move with his arm in your mouth.
He cuddly though.
So this sounds beef. Aw, beef.
Come on, beef.
He sort of looks at the camera like, oh, just blood and viscera from his. So this sounds like an assisted parlay roll. If we have you making the case to let you get up on stage and do your thing,
I like it.
And with Charles backing him up, was that?
Yeah.
So that sounds like a parlay roll. If you want to give me one of those,
Great.
As Beef is distracted by somebody's mutton leg, and
What do I add to that? Charisma, I assume?
Charisma.
Great. So that's gonna boost me to 7.
lovely.
I'm gonna roll. That's 4, 5. That's actually 4.
Okay.
I don't have very good charisma.
Everybody gets to mark experience. By which, I mean, okay.
Starting early.
So,
There we go.
let's see what happens when you fail an aid or interfere.
Bring a little bit
Roll.
of critical bits magic here.
Oh,
just
yeah.
constantly failing.
It's true. It happens even when you're the player.
This is an interesting scene now, because... And it wasn't before. This is an interesting scene. The big troll, now that you're in the room, you can get a better look at the troll, has what looks like 2 giant cymbals strapped to its back. Cymbal, C-Y-M-B-A-L-S, right? Like the musical instrument.
Yes.
And painted on its chest, there are 2 images. One of a clown face with a tear coming out of its eye, and one of a musical note stylized. And you see that also on his 2 companions, the shifty-eyed one and the dwarf, which you didn't see at first because it's very short, racism. They both have similar bands marking them on their clothing, those 2 symbols. The clown with the tear in its eye, and the stylized musical notes.
Okay.
And there's even a moment where your beautiful dobro music with your parlay begins to sway. The troll looks at you with a soft look in its eyes, seeing this big, beautiful, crusty man, and hearing the sweet, sweet tunes of the dobro, before Songbird Dan pulls out a dagger and says, "Our employer said nobody can get on this stage without express dispensation from the Fool's Guild. Are you going to make this an issue?"
He's not on stage.
I'm not. I'm over here. I'm just trying to show you what I got.
And the,
Musket.
Right. Charles, I'm confused.
I think you should go on stage.
Well, can I keep doing what I'm doing if I stay over here and don't go on the stage?
I think the shifty-eyed one and the dwarf very, very quickly whisper in each other's ears, and as the troll just sort of unconsciously nods and wants to hear more of that sweet, sweet dobro music,
See, he wants to hear more of
Yeah,
it.
he gets it,
Yeah.
right?
until the dwarf says, "You didn't hear him, laddie? He said nobody can perform without special dispensation from the Fool's Guild."
But he said on stage. He's not on stage.
Yeah, I think it's specified.
It's for the stage.
Yeah, but it's more about the spirit of the thing than the letter of the law.
He trying to tell me he ain't got no spirit?
He's
He's a fucking rock.
That's right.
He's rock solid.
Let me ask you this, laddie.
Yeah.
You been feeling too tall lately? And the dwarf pulls out its battle axe. "You're looking pretty tall from where I'm standing."
No, I'm about 5'10".
It's slightly below average, I think.
Yeah.
I think the group of people in the bar is more interested in this than what the weird poetry or whatever it was had been said by the chainmailed
Say
guy.
people in a bar don't care about poetry open mic. This is truly a fantasy world.
Certainly in the
Everybody loves slam poetry.
Certainly in the Mended Drum, the actual clientele is more interested in bloodshed, and they actually begin to push back to the walls, either in fear or in hope that something is about to go down. And you see an orangutan in the corner. It's not really important. You're seeing this, by the way, Edward Valender, having been attracted by probably the beautiful tunes of the dobro and the now hushed feeling of excitement that something's going to happen.
Okay, I'm gonna. I have a fun idea. So I'm gonna stand up. Oh fuck! What was the Edward Valender? Do you know who my father is? There we go. That's how I get back to myself.
We found
get
it.
into the
Praise
voice.
the praise. Yeah.
I stand up and go, I'm tired of the Fools Guild always acting like fools. Anyways, you've stopped me from opening my Dwarven Fighting Championship long enough. I asked this bard to come here, the greatest Dobro player in the land. He has been 2 weeks late. I do not know what happened to him. Also, I thought he was a halfling. But nevertheless, I have been too busy with my paperwork of starting a guild.
Freeze frame. First impressions of Edward Valender.
He's lying, but I like him.
I don't know why he would say these things. We obviously can defend ourselves. Who is this man? What does he want?
I think that he's immediately standing up for me and lying and talking about fighting and everything, which I feel like is in the spirit of what Dwayne kind of wants me to do, the sort of things that I need to pursue, especially the whole fighting part. So I think that I'm gonna add to my bonds that I am writing a ballad about the adventures of Edward. I can smell what he's cooking.
Yours is sort of like
Confused, but I want to figure out what he's talking about. What his story is. What his deal is.
Edward Valender. What are your first impressions of these two young gentlemen?
So to Edward, I am not lying. I did hire the world's greatest bard Dobro player, and I thought he was a halfling, but I guess I got it wrong. But at a game, Crusty murdered the guy that I sent.
Right. Yeah.
So in my head, I have sworn to protect Crusty because there is nothing to get a crowd riled up for a fight than some good music. So I like put it together because I noticed his dobro is a very, it has like
it's putting
yeah.
out
yes.
tropical tune.
And I'm just like,
Truly.
that is the man I hired. And then Charles, I worry about his ability. I worry about the ability of Charles to survive in a dungeon, literally because he's gonna blend in too well, and someone might accidentally shoot him.
Oh, so good. So good. I think at this point, responding to you, there's another furious sort of whispered conversations between what seems like the brains and the brawn of the two smaller. What am I trying to say? The non-troll versions of this trio right here. What am I trying to fucking say here?
Non-troll.
You tell me.
Yeah, I think lots of things are non-trolls.
That's true.
So you
The
need
table.
To narrow it down.
God damn it.
Yeah, is it the orangutan in the
The
equation?
orangutan's like,
Joel, because you were just funny, I can't cut that out. Now I have to look like a dipshit.
Hey, that's why shitting on people is the best thing.
I think in response to what you've just laid down, would your the shifty guy and the dwarf have another furious conversation as the troll looks less and less certain now that not only is this troll interested in what the Dobro's putting down, but now that there's backup, it seems like a fair fight and therefore one to avoid.
Oh, wait, we didn't do my physical description.
Oh yeah, please.
So whenever you see me, I'm a dwarf, so I'm normal dwarf height, which is, I don't know, not tall.
Thereabouts.
Thereabouts. But I have very regal looking clothing. It looks like I have lots of money.
Mm-hmm.
That's definitely what I want to give off. And then my fists are wrapped in bloody fist wraps, but they're dwarven fist wraps, the finest dwarven silk. Other people might call it steel, as we decided earlier. But like they look old and like they're covered in the blood of so many people because they are.
Hell yeah. This is your signature weapon as a
Yeah,
fighter.
this is my signature weapon as a fighter, and my body is built, my eyes are hard. I have a shaved head, but I still do have a beard because I'm a dwarf, and then my skin is very calloused. So that's what you see as I scream about, don't touch my entertainment.
And I think the dwarf shouts back, "You know good and well if without that special dispensation you can shove it right up your arse, unless you're wanting some monkey business around here." And there's an audible click as the orangutan calmly puts down his mug. And
Do I know the orangutan bouncer?
That's the librarian.
Am I scared of the librarian?
Everybody knows the librarian unless they're out of town.
I'm just like, listen, I asked these men to come here so I could finally open the guild that my father died and left me all of his money for.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, if you let them play without the fee, you will have season tickets of the best seats in the Dwarven Fighting Championship because nobody fucks with my entertainment.
Yeah, he's right.
and I'd just raise my eyebrow at the one other troll.
And then I say, does anyone smell cooking?
Smell that?
And then I very slowly lift up the rock that is shaped like the face of Dwayne, and its eyebrow is raised in the exact same manner. I'm like,
I'm going to invoke a move called Sucker Punch. Songbird Dan pulls out a dagger and immediately throws it in your direction. We are in combat.
uh-oh.
Does 5 damage to you. It's not piercing or anything like that.
So I only take 2, right? Because I have 3 armor.
Yeah, and the fighting has begun. The air that was excited and expectant and hopeful has suddenly gotten an element of fear since the orangutan started to show displeasure.
Uh-oh.
We're just gonna go right around the table. Tell me what you do, Crusty, as this first salvo of munitions comes out and the dwarf begins sprinting towards your kneecaps.
I'm gonna stand my ground and I'm gonna start playing more frantic Dobro tunes as I go to inspire our new friend Edward. So I'm gonna use my arcane art.
The heaviest dice in the world.
They're so heavy. That's 8 plus 2, 10.
Whoa, perfect success. Tell me what that is.
Arcane art, when you weave a performance into a basic spell, choose an ally and an effect. On a 10 plus, the ally gets the selected effect. So he gets plus 1d4 forward to damage.
Ooh.
Edward does.
Cool.
That's him real good.
The dwarf charges you. You stand your ground and begin plucking out a really killer tune that invigorates you at
And
Edward.
is that the dwarf that threw the knife at me?
No, the shifty-eyed human is the guy that threw the knife at you.
Okay. I'm going to go after the dwarf going after him. And also, I'm not going to intentionally pull out the knife. I'm going to leave it in there because I want to seem like a badass.
Sticking in your, your chest?
Yeah, it's sticking in there. But I'm not even, because, it stuck me good, but, I'm trying to, So I'm going to just go to just, fucking take out the dwarf going after Crusty. What was the plus that I get?
You get plus 1d4 forward to damage.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
And I just look at that dwarf that's charging me, and I'm like, I'm made of rocks, dummy.
Alright, I got 8 plus 2 for strength, which is a 10.
Oh my god.
So what I'm gonna do is hack and slash on a 10 plus, deal your damage, avoid their attacks. At the option, you may choose to get an additional 1d6 of damage.
I'm going to give you one more option.
Okay.
Because you're intervening in something that was going to happen to Crusty, one person will be hurt. Either you or Crusty, right? Whereas normally it would be both.
Yeah.
I'm editing the rule because you're sort of, boom, leaping to the defense almost.
So what I'm going to be doing, let's see. But you give me a 1d4, right?
Right, yeah.
Alright, so I'm going to choose, he's not going to get hurt, and so
You'll take the blow.
Yeah, and then so I'm going to get,
Yeah, roll that dice.
Nice. Oh,
fuck yeah, I got 13 damage.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
actually, I'm sorry, I got
plus
14 damage because I have serrated edges on my dwarven steel wraps, and then if he has any armor, I have plus 2 piercing. So I just did 14 damage with to him.
Okay.
Fuck him up.
Let me
Fuck him up.
Let me sort of set this scene real quick because you managed to get his attention out of the way from Crusty, and he instead brings the battle axe up in a sweeping movement, hitting you for 6 damage, and then you fucking annihilate him with 1 hit.
Right.
Do you cold cock him, and he do you want to do non-lethal or lethal?
Oh no, 100%, because he's part of the Fool's Guild.
Yeah,
right? I fucking hate the guilds here now. So I full force I'm through the face
Explodes.
Tufa,
Bits everywhere.
the big troll says, "Grunge, I don't know if this is a good idea." And you punch Grunge, and Grunge is a splunge.
Yeah.
And it is that moment that we see a wizard. In the sunlit doorway, we see a silhouette of a wizard.
Hey there, everybody. Jonah here to say thank you for listening to episode 1 of Portents. This side quest is brought to you by our fantabulous sponsor, Castor & Pollux, makers of mystical jewelry and geeky novelties. Quest Company listeners can go to CassPollux.com and get 15% off your entire order of dice, jewelry, and other nerdy accessories by using the code TheQuestCo. That's TheQuestCo, all lowercase letters and no spaces, and you will get 15% off your entire order. That is a great deal, and it's even better because every order that uses our code gets us closer to being able to do our next giveaway. So go check them out and find something you'll love, like their brand new chromatic unicorn dice. And if you order a set of dice or a cool piece of jewelry from Castor and Pollux, send us a picture and we'll feature you on our Instagram and Twitter. If you're a fan of the Quest Company, you enjoy the crazy stuff we do and the fun stories we tell, please head over to our show page on the Apple Podcast app or wherever you listen to your podcasts and leave us a rating and review. It's super easy, it'll only take you a minute, and that small act of kindness from you is a huge help to us as we keep spreading the word about the show and get new people listening. Seriously, pause the episode right now, go tell us what you think about the podcast, and then hop right back in. We read every single review that comes in, and we love seeing new ones. And if you drop by and leave us a review, we'll give you a shout out here on the podcast. If you'd like to contact us, you can do so directly through our Connect page on QuestCompanyPodcast.com, or you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, etc. at The Quest Company. We had a ton of fun recording this side quest with our guests, Delaney and Joel. If you haven't listened to Joel's podcast, Critical Bits, I cannot recommend it enough. You can join a trio of teen superheroes in the city of Heavendale as they fight corrupt adults, body horror monstrosities, and the cast of the hit 90s film Hackers, all while dealing with the anxieties of being in high school. Also, the mayor of Heavendale is very attractive. You can find Critical Bits on Twitter at CriticalBitcast. That'll point you to the various places you can listen to their marvelous podcast, and you'll be able to keep up with all the great stuff they've got going on. I'd like to take a moment to thank Mr. Joe Cash for the Portents theme, as well as the sweet Dobro jams he threw down for this side quest. And I'd like to thank the other fantastic artists whose music we used. Thank you to TabletopAudio.com for the tracks Waterkeep and The Slaughtered Ox. Thank you to Apes on Tapes for the song Big Words, Big Wizard. Thanks to Dunai for the song Wizard's Mask. And thanks to the Octagon for the song Laugh Like a Wizard. You can find more from those artists on freemusicarchive.org. Additional sound design by Humanoid 9000, Tyops, Frankum, Setuniman, and Bryan Bulmer. That's all for me, so let's return to the action. Thanks for listening to Portents here at the Quest Company.
I stumble in, and I say, "Oh, that ninny of a god doesn't know what he's doing, not letting me into the university. If only he had seen the portents I have seen. Tender of the bar, give me a meat. What is going on in here?"
It's a rumble.
Freeze frame. What is your first impression of Genovia Gingersnap?
Should I describe what I look like?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sorry.
She is a thin woman wearing a purple velvet robe. Her hair is 3 braids braided into 1 braid, long down her back, which has been unruly from the long journey she's on.
Yeah.
Her eyes are crazy. This is who Genovia is.
Good.
Also, I didn't mention earlier, she's traveling. She's the first female wizard, the number in between 7 and 9. The number in between that. She's that numbered daughter
Of that numbered son.
Numbered son.
Which is how, we call it 7A.
The forbidden number that can't be spoken by wizards.
You mean 8?
Roll. Jonah.
Oh, even out of character, we're doing things for 8.
Oh, was that out of character? Because I heard a
I'm
voice.
just fucking around. Yeah.
Let's,
The whole world explodes.
Actually, no, it wasn't in character. Okay, no, it wasn't, because there was a meta moment.
Yeah.
The number we call 7A, or perhaps the second 7, is the one in between 7 and 9. Wizards and other magically involved entities should really not say that number. You really shouldn't say that number. Freeze frame. We see Genovia Gingersnap. Edward Valender, what do you think?
I see her purple robes, and purple is the color of royalty, so I think that of similar stock of me, but the fact that she said that she let a guard talk down to her, I feel like she's a little soft. So I will make her hard like me. It's the weirdest phrasing, but that is what the sheet says.
This is the preset.
So thanks,
bomb.
Adam Coble.
Oh my god.
I'm not a monster. I just playing a game.
You're gonna make her hard like.
Yeah. So I'm gonna make.
I heard that about Edward.
Yeah, I'm gonna make the hard like me. So.
Beef, at this moment, distracted especially by the smell of blood, is back all to teeth and...
Beef, get the fuck back over here.
And what do you do?
Beef, the guy with the knife who threw the knife, he's still up.
Yeah, he's still up, and he looks absolutely... He looks a little less surprised than you would expect for somebody that just saw somebody get cut down in front of him. Okay. His eyes are mostly just sort of cold and glassy. And he, in fact, is bringing out another dagger as well as a short sword from behind him and is menacingly walking towards Crusty.
I yell at Beef, and I run towards the man, and Beef does too, at the same time. I get the fuck out of shit, this man.
Roll a hack and slash. And I believe you get to add something to it because your pal, who is trained, is helping you with it.
Yeah, I have and if you attack a target, you add its ferocity to your damage.
Oh, shit.
That's a lot of ferocity.
Yeah. He's a ferocious motherfucker.
Damn, Beef.
That's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, that's,
there you go.
What's
is that plus your
to hit?
If it's hack and slash, isn't it plus like your strength?
It's plus strength. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's 11.
So it's God.
Yes!
Okay, when you attack an enemy in melee, roll plus strength. You deal your damage to the enemy and avoid their attack. As an option, you may choose to do 1d6, but expose yourself to the enemy's attack. Do you want to do more damage, or do you want to stay safe?
I stay safe with my D8.
And just hit him.
Yeah.
Great. Cool. Give me that roll. Plus your ferocity, I believe.
Yeah. 3 plus 3 is 6.
Okay. A lot of it, you can see that between you and Beef, you are a formidable fighting force. But what the guy manages to do is he puts a table in between him and Beef, just momentarily stymieing him. And what do you attack with?
I got the short sword. It's like a big old Bowie knife. It's like a big motherfucking Bowie knife.
This is a knife.
Yeah.
This is a knife.
But it's a short sword.
And you dig it directly into the shoulder armor of his thing, and you definitely draw blood, but you also see him sort of twist back out of range, and the blood comes spattering out. He is still moving with both arms pretty well. You've definitely taken a chunk out of him, though, and he begins again to go towards Crusty. You can see actually circling around the back to the weak point of Trolls near the base of the neck. Genovia, what do you do now that you have walked into this situation, into this kinetic situation with your good friends, now under attack?
I toss a banana to my dear friend, the librarian, and I say, "Sir, I will need your help later." And then... I run over to my friend Crusty and I say, "Crusty."
What?
You know I'm frail. What is going on?
Well, we're doing something. Hey, Charles, I think we gotta start killing again.
That's fine with me.
What, are you gonna get involved?
I'm going to take solace behind Crusty right now and kind of clutch his arm and hide from danger at this moment in time.
And you see the sword come down on Crusty. You have a split second, Crusty. What do you do?
What, a sword is coming down?
The shifty-eyed human guy has been circling around behind you, I think actually taking this moment of conversation to do so, and is bringing it around in a precise hack and slash towards the back of your neck. What do you do?
Great. I want to just, throw Genovia out of the way.
This sounds like a defend.
Yeah.
It's a roll plus Constitution.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That's 6. Plus 1 is 7. As I push her out of the way, I'm like,
Do a magic.
Do a man.
Do magic! As 6 points of damage sink down and actually chip a bit of rock off of the back of your neck.
Fucking ow!
So that marked me down.
Fuck him up, Crusty! Says Dwayne in your head.
Right, yeah.
Wait, was that my turn? Or was that
I think that might have been your turn, leaving now an opening for Genovia to act if she wishes.
Okay, I then take my staff and...
Can I use prestidigitation right now to make it a snake? Look like a snake? And
Sure.
throw it at him to
Yeah.
spook him?
You do. You turn your snake, you turn your staff and you summon a snake from it. Oh, it's a wizard.
Summon a snake.
And
Snake attack!
snake
It's a snack.
Snake, sneak.
now.
It's a snack.
So roll 2d6 plus int, and we shall see how effective this snake lie is.
Oh.
5 and a 2 plus 2.
So that's a 9.
9. The spell is cast, but choose one. You draw unwelcome attention or put yourself in a spot. The GM will tell you how.
Mm-hmm.
The spell disturbs the fabric of reality as it is cast. Take -1 ongoing to cast a spell until the next time you prepare spells.
So it's one of those things. Okay, cool. I got it.
Or it's forgotten.
Oh, yeah, but it's prestidigitation. Can't
Right,
forget
so we
that.
can't forget that.
Yeah, cool. I know exactly what happens. The big troll says, Dan, we gotta stop. We can't fight these guys. And the shifty-looking human actually puts up his swords for a second with his eyes on the snake, these cold eyes, looking at them and says, all right, looks like we're at an impasse here.
Beef, get him.
I want to grab him by the face and slam him into my knee.
Can Beef be mauling him at the same time?
So that would be a hack and slash and an aid. So you're getting involved. So both of you roll plus strength.
6, 7, 8.
Nice.
I got a 8 plus 2, which is 10.
Nice.
So you perfect success, and what'd you get?
8.
So in this move of what seems to be surrender, you charge forward with Beef, with Edward Valender close beside, and in the blink of an eye, what seemed to have been a surrender brings the sword right back around and hacks directly into your knee,
God damn it!
inflicting you with a minor debility, but only doing 3 damage.
Piss hole!
So take a debility to Dex.
Lose my dex?
See that little
I'm all
box?
shaky now?
Yeah, you're a bit shaky.
Damn it,
as-
I'm shaky.
As
Fuck.
this saws into your knee.
I like being shaky.
Without medical attention, it's gonna be an ongoing issue. And then you roll damage because you and a Beef are charging at this.
Nice.
This shifty Dan.
Eat him! 2, 5.
Great. Are you rolling damage too then, Edward?
No, because aid I think just adds to the overall roll.
Oh, okay, got it.
And so you do 5 damage.
5 damage with Beef.
It seems unrealistic, but this guy is continually getting mauled. I think his arm is actually in Beef's mouth, and he's like trying
I'm
to.
fucking impressed by this motherfucker.
He's literally.
I'm a little bit scared. I'm a little bit scared to be honest. I'm like,
What's
God
weird,
dang.
you kind of think that his heart rate isn't even going that high.
Jesus Christ, he's a goddamn sociopath. I've only seen 5 of those my entire life, and they all kill somebody.
There's this glassy look in his eye still, this hardened sort of eye look, until it finally stops, and now you see terror, and although he's just woken up from something, he starts screaming and keening, dropping his weapon and pulling on his arm.
Stop, Beef.
And he falls to his knees as Beef continues to
He's a bear. He's a grizzly bear. This is...
savage and forgetful, right? Yeah.
Beef, stop it.
Stop it!
Beef, stop Beef.
Who's all still out? Like
The troll who has continually not gotten into the fight and says, "We know."
and that's
The one with the symbols on stage.
Let's see. Can I go over, just bear hug the bear to try to get him off the guy and just like pick Beef up because I'm a very big rock man.
Okay, this looks like a fight from you and an interfere from you. You get to roll plus bond. So however many bonds you have, which is just 1 really, to interfere with Beef's roll.
I'm staying back. Beef can...
13.
Okay.
I wasn't going to interfere. I was telling Beef not
Okay.
to fuck with Beef.
So it's more like a peace thing. It's less like you're interfering with him and just trying to like.
Yeah, I'm just like literally like, it's alright, and I just like am picking him up like,
Can I speak frankly with you? It's alright.
So the bear is at least, now being taken away from the actual mauling part, and the troll.
Like pat him on the head. It's like, it's okay, Beef. Just calm down.
I'm the guy that's on the ground and like screaming. I'm gonna go and like pick him up and put him in a chair and then put a drink in front of him and put a drink in front of me and go, let's talk about how my bard is gonna enter this contest for free, and you will make sure that after this is all done, you let them know that this is being sponsored by the Dwarven Fighting Championship Guild, soon to be open.
I think he's so injured and scared, and it's so different from the previous cool like efficiency that he just sort of like is like promising, babbling whatever it is.
Yeah.
And the troll on stage is like,
yeah. And then I shush the guy who has like the mauled arm. I'm like, no, if you excuse, you need to be quiet because Crusty's about to play. And I just clap my hands and sit back and then motion for Crusty to go to the stage.
Did you want to do something, by the way?
So I'll gently set Beef down now that he's pacified.
I go over to Beef and I call him, I pet his head, and I call him, just it's gonna be okay. He's like shaking, foaming at the mouth. It's okay.
So was the troll with those guys, or is he just like trying to do his thing?
So you get the impression that he was in the process of doing his job, which was what these guys were doing, until you spoke.
Nice.
You, Crusty, spoke. And then ever since then has been refusing to either get into the fight itself and mostly been calling for everybody to stop. The big symbols on the troll's back, like CYMBALS, are unused. They haven't been brought out or anything like that.
Great.
The troll hasn't made any aggressive movements at all, actually, and is mostly just blubbering now. How do trolls cry?
What? There's just like pebbles that come out of the eyes. It's probably something what it sounds like.
Yeah, just pebbles coming down.
But I go up to the stage with my dobro and I just look at everyone.
Thank you.
And just I'm gonna check this out to the guy who's been mauled. But I go up to the troll on the stage. I'm like,
can I speak to you? No, are we cool? We alright?
Yeah, is Grunge okay?
What?
His head's gone.
He
punched his hair.
Yeah,
Oh, that's the guy that I murdered?
Yeah.
he's dead. But the other guy, he's gonna be okay, alright? He's gonna be okay.
Genovia, now, you glance over towards Grunge, the guy whose head has been splattered, and you see Death, and he sort of gives you a little wave and walks off with Grunge out of the door.
Ah, that old acquaintance.
Good old Death. But so yeah, I just like pat that troll on the shoulder like,
you wanna help me play a song? We can make it feel better if we play a little music.
They all get fired if anybody performs.
Oh, but it's to make it feel better.
But it's the boss's job.
But it'll help him feel better.
Charles goes up and he's like, do you need a hug?
A little bit.
Just a little bit of hug.
Come on. Alright, come on, real quick. We're about to get started, I promise, boss. But first, let's go.
Speaking of
Okay.
who's a wizard's kiss.
but I would like to.
You're very terrifying, but I mean, it could work, I guess.
I'd like to get this other troll to help me as I play a song and use my arcane art to heal Grunge's maul wounds with our sweet tropical tunes.
Give me a roll.
Okay.
And you want the assist, basically?
I'm asking this troll to help me play my song to make the guy feel better.
We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
9 plus 2 is 11.
The troll tries to help. You do your song real quick.
Great.
Just give me like a little flavor of it.
It's just like a nice little. It's like very like aloha, like island vibes.
Dwayne told me this one.
We did it on the road and just like nice slide guitar.
And you play it beautifully.
Oh, thank you.
Nobody else hears because Dwayne.
Yeah, he's just.
He's in my noodle.
And I think the other troll tries to do a little like hesitant hula kind of thing to the left, to the right, you know.
And I'm like, have you heard about Dwayne?
No, who's Dwayne?
Well, Dwayne, and I pull out the rock and roll. He kind of looks like this.
Hello, Dwayne.
He's a god. This isn't actually him. This is more a visual representation.
Yeah,
but this is
Dwayne.
I told you to stop bringing out that rock.
We get it. You love your little guide or whatever.
Alright, he's the reason I got here, and he can help you. What's the thing you most want?
The thing I most want?
Yeah.
I want things to go back from before the merger.
But before the merger?
Yeah. So is this during like the healing
Yeah,
song?
this is like I'm playing the song and like just completely still, like the instrument is magical and I am not, so like whenever I'm playing, like my hands just kind of take over and I can just still kind of like I'm like just having a completely regular conversation.
It's sort of like auto playing a piano.
Absolutely.
Like you don't really. Okay, this is quite a scene here.
Grunge also was the guy's name Grunge?
Grunge is the dead guy.
Grunge. Which one was the mauled guy?
Dan.
Dan gets 5 points of health back.
He stops screaming, and the look in his eyes does not go back to the glassy sort of hardened stare. It's still, pain and fear, but much less.
Is he the one the
guy that got
the
mauled.
dagger?
The guy that threw the dagger, yeah. He just kind of looks confused and scared.
Yeah, I'm gonna finally pull the dagger out of my chest and just and slam it on the table in front of him and just be like, "Hey, I told you, pay attention."
That's my dagger.
Yeah, you threw it in my chest.
I did. I'm sorry. And he takes it off and wipes it with a shaking hand.
Okay,
Oh no, I grabbed the dagger that's on the table and go, I didn't say to grab it back. I said,
sorry.
You pay attention.
I'm sorry. I'm
We
sorry.
all make mistakes. We all make mistakes sometimes.
So we got to resolve this question. What the merger is what this troll says.
Hey, what's that?
The merger?
Right.
What is that fucking voice? I want things to go back way they were before the merger, And she the troll says, "My name's Tufa, by the way," and points at her chest where you see the painted on symbols of the Fools Guild and the Musicians Guild.
Oh.
These are the two guilds. We were in a band. Poor Grunge.
Wait, her name is, what is it?
Tufa.
Tufa.
Tufa. I just want to go back for before.
So I'm gonna look at Tufa and we'll say, now listen. And then I'm gonna hit her on the head with the Dwayne rock.
You've been enlightened. Dwayne can help you get things the way you want it to be, alright?
Give me a magic roll. Because I think I know what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to do the troll thing, man. 7 plus charisma.
Yeah.
So 9.
She looks at you with kind of starry eyes for a second, and Dwayne's voice says in your head a little bit stronger now. It seems like it was a nice move. That was a real nice move.
Thanks, Dwayne. She can smell what you're cooking.
Listeners, I'm so sorry. I can't do a fucking Rock the Dwayne Johnson voice. Jonah's really painted me into a corner here with his beautiful character. But I can't rock that Dwayne. I'm trying. I'm sure you can hear me try. What is everybody else doing? I think during the more lethal parts of the show, rather than get involved, most people have actually left, and it stopped being a fun thing and more like, oh shit, that guy got killed in one punch kind of thing.
One punch.
One punch. Edward.
Ye old One Punch Man.
Did you explain what the merger was?
So
the music and the Fools Guild.
She points the music. The Musicians Guild got bought by the Fools Guild, and then we're just being used as hired muscle. But I'm a percussionist, and she takes the cymbals off her back and goes with the cymbals.
Ah, god dang.
That's what I was born to do.
You just play it? Is that how you play? You just want to do it once and you're done?
I went to school for it.
Short song. I like it.
It's exclamatory.
Yeah, it's punctuation, whereas maybe a Dobro's more of the melodic line.
Right.
The sort of lyrical nature.
Are you trying to tell me the cymbal and dobro go together?
Everyone has their own view of music, my boy.
That wasn't even Charles. That was just Joe.
Yeah.
Okay, can I look at Tufa and say,
Listen, my sweet troll, can you help me get into the university?
What university?
The unseen university.
I've never seen it.
Oh,
I'm a troll. They're kind of exclusive.
Right.
Ain't you a lady?
that's right. I was just testing you. I must have. I'm gonna go over here.
and then I run away and try to find the library.
I don't care if you're a lady. It's just it seems like they might. All right, bye. Any other questions for Two for the Troll?
Also, come over here. We can get a couple of electric floor bangers and we can just hang out for a little bit. You've had a hard time. Come on. Come on. Hey, new boss. You hear all that?
Everyone they were in a band, right? And so they're now down one person that I murdered.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then one is pretty injured.
Yeah, one's pretty injured and terrified of me. I invite Crusty and Tufa over to sit down with me and Grunge, and I also invite Charles and the bear, and I go, all right. Beef, Charles and Beef. I shake only Beef's hand.
Why? I have my hand out to shake his hand.
This bear looks very well kept, and you, sir, are very wild.
I know I move like a salamander and I look like a dead piece of shit, but I'm a nice guy.
I've never heard anyone say move like a salamander in a positive way. So surely the bear, the bear is your keeper.
Did you not see what he did? I couldn't
I
control him.
just looked at Beef. I just looked at Beef and go, please, get your boy in line.
But what the? I have never.
So it seems like you might need to update your bond with Edward. Which means you mark experience.
Oh my gosh! I just look at Edward.
It's true. I have.
And I go, well, anyways. So back to the matter at hand. Crusty, once again, very surprising you never mentioned to me that you were a troll. No problem with that. Obviously, we all know trolls make some of the best music.
Obviously.
But happy you're finally here. It seems like we all have a similar problem, and it's the guilds in town. And so I actually have a proposition. Tufa and Grunge, you might be able to give us some information on your newly acquired bosses, and in exchange for that, I have a place that will be opening soon that you can have a permanent band spot at. And I believe Crusty might actually be a great new addition because somebody punched the ever-living shit out of your other member. And, if you forgot, that was me, so.
That was Grunge.
Yes, I'm telling you, if you don't do what I want, I'll punch you in the face as well.
Yeah, I get you. I'm Dan, by the way, says the shifty-eyed guy.
Once again, didn't ask anyone's names. I feel like a lot of you are presuming that I care about as much as I do this bear, and once again, the bear, that's kind of my guy. And I wink at Beef, and I like call over, and I just get like a giant, just like thing of beef sent to the bear's table. And I go, on my tab, of course, the Valender name is as good as it's worth.
So, it looks like we've got a couple things here. We've got a parlay roll where you're trying to sort of bring them on in the future and mostly just get information out of them right now. Yeah. So give me a roll plus cha.
Yeah, I'll say I'm helping with two
because
I'm
a dwarf and I'd already said I invited everyone over for a drink. Whenever a dwarf shares a drink with somebody, I get to parlay with Constitution instead of Charisma.
Whoa.
Which is good because I have shitty Charisma.
Cool. And you're going to help?
Yeah, I'll help because I'm
good. Because I got a 6 plus 1. I got 7 in total.
Okay, nice. Yeah, because I'm over here with Tufa like,
this is what Dwayne wants. Dwayne wants to help you.
I do think Dwayne wants to help me.
Well,
Is that a double failure?
Yeah.
I did not fail. I got mixed success, and he failed.
And I failed, so let's just mark that experience.
Also, I love how Crusty is just fine with going with whatever comes in his life. He's like, I'm a bard now. I work for this guy now.
This is the will of Dwayne, okay?
Yeah, he seems all right.
Yeah.
It's just fucking Corin. Everything's just fucking Corin. I can't do the fucking voice of Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Did you mark those 2 experiences that we just made? Because that was 2 rolled failures in a row. And before I bring the hammer down on those, let's get a little button with Genovia walking over to the orangutan known as the librarian. Eating the banana that you threw to him.
Yes. I have to say this quietly, but I have seen such portents, and I need to get into the library. Yes, I am a woman, but I am a wizard. Can you help me?
I point in the direction of the university. Point to me. Point to the university.
He sort of nods, puts up a thumbs up.
I've heard tales of you from Granny Weatherwax. Can you help me?
Much more enthusiastically now.
Yes, Granny. Yes, you know Granny. Yes, she taught me. And now I need your help. I have seen such things, such portents that that you would be willing to sacrifice your firstborn child to never see them again. Help me.
And that's where we stop for the first session.
I don't know what will become of me, my love. Coming around.